Hi, I'm Peter Haddock and I'm here at GEO Business 2022 with MD of Leica Geosystems, part of Hexagon, Jonn Hicks. John, the last time I've been at this show, we've had innovations like the BLK to go, which I've got in my hand here. But now we've gone even bigger and even better with what we see behind me. Mobile mapping is a really, really big thing that's taking off. But we've miniaturized your solution there as well. Tell me about the whole thing that we've got on display here as well as that today.
We came in November, we had a good time re-engaging with customers, but since then we haven't rested on our laurels. As you mentioned, we've come to market with TRK, but we've also come to market with a new product, AP20.
Right, okay.
Which is a tilt pole solution for surveyors and engineers. So it allows them effectively to forget the bubble. So traditionally they would be looking at the bubble to make sure the pole is held vertically, but this allows them to use the pole in any way, which means it makes them a lot more productive, so they can reach areas they might not be able to reach traditionally, and effectively allows them to just forget the bubble.
What's interesting about that, folks, is, you know, when we're looking at things like surveying stockpiles, like surveying banks and things like that, you know, when you don't have to go at the angle yourself, it's
Correct.
One thing that's more safe for the operator, but also it allows you to actually think, well, I can do the lean without leaning over into, you know, an unsafe position, for example.
Yeah, unsafe positions or inaccessible areas where normally you'd have to wait for someone to give you access to that area. It allows you to get to it, to take the measurement without having to delay the survey for waiting for access to a specific area.
Now, we're always talking nowadays about 3D mapping and how it's used in things like machine control, overall plans for projects. And this is really significant now, isn't it? Because you've miniaturized what used to be quite a large and bulky situation here to be able to put on vehicles without the need for extra weight on top of them, so smaller vehicles, different things. Yep. Tell me why that's significant and why the demand's so strong now for that technology.
So we've seen some good success with Pegasus 2 Ultimate, which was the predecessor to the TRK that you see here. But you're right, it was a fairly large instrument to transport around, a fairly large instrument to get onto a machine, whether that's a car or a quad bike or whatever it may be. But with the TRK, as you said, we've miniaturized the solution, but we've also thought about the application for the user to get it onto the vehicle that they're going to be applying it on. So
folks, I'm keeping this BLK to go in one hand because I'm able to literally move this around with a single hand now. So that's really makes it so much more accessible. And I know it's got a tilt function on it as well, so that we can actually load that up. That again is coming back to this surveying safety mentality you've got. So, you know, keeping people safe on site. This allows people to survey roads so they're not physically on site. You've got the new tilt as well. So it really is all adding up to being yet more user-friendly, but with that safety focus, isn't it?
And also about increasing the productivity of our customers.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned being able to drive around the road with this. You know, you're surveying at 60 kilometers an hour, taking multiple point clouds all at the same time, so you haven't got anybody in the car. You can then combine it with what you see behind you, the stream up, so you're then surveying above and below ground at the same time. So as well as protecting the surveyor, keeping them out of harm's way, we're also maximising the amount of data they can collect in one pass, and also reducing the impact on the public by not having, for example, to close roads. So you can drive along without having to close off roads to keep the surveyor safe. We can keep them in the car and get the same amount of data for them.
And what's really exciting for me is this will now, with the little roof rack that it's on, this can now be fitted on different types of equipment. People can actually be more adventurous with the technology as well, and so we can fundamentally see again all of these solutions for Leica Geosystems and the Hexagon team are all coming together to make things more 3D, more accessible, more exciting, safer, more productive, and quite frankly, all round more exciting on site, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Thanks very much, John.
Thanks, Peter.